Tonight on Texas News Primetime. The student leader of UT's Palestine Solidarity Committee was suspended from the university.
Austin Bergstrom International Airport is undergoing a major expansion.
Trump and Harris brought their campaigns to Texas last week as Election Day nears.
E. coli cases, including one death, have been linked to McDonald's Quarter Pounders.
The Austin Film Festival kicked off in downtown Austin on Thursday. This is Texas News Primetime.
News made for Longhorns.
Good evening. For Monday, October 28th, I'm Audrey Wong.
And I'm Emmie Adams. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Students have been bearing the lines to cast their ballots early on campus. TSTV News' Justin Dowd has the story.
Here at the Texas Union, first-time voters are facing long lines as early voting kicks off across the state. Students say that while lines can be intimidating, they're committed to casting their ballot, and that's exactly what they've done. In the first 5 days of early voting, about 20% of registered voters in Travis County cast their ballots. More than 6,000 people have already voted on the UT campus, the majority of which cast their vote at the Texas Union. For some, the consistent lines have been daunting, but they cast their vote regardless.
Honestly, the line is kind of intimidating, but I think I was only waiting in there for like maybe 10, 20 minutes. All the voter assistants are very nice. They'll help you if you got questions, but the process is pretty smooth.
This election is the Union's first time being utilized as a polling location. Previously, the Flawn Academic Center housed UT's main polling center, but it was relocated due to planned construction, according to the university. In addition to the Union, the LBJ School of Public Affairs is also available for voters. As students brave long lines ahead of Election Day, they told us why they feel it's worth the wait.
Honestly, I just think it's important because we all live in a government and we're all going to be affected by it, so it's just important to vote, exercise your civic duty and stuff.
There's a lot of important things that are at stake, especially right now, during the presidential election. So that was my main motivation. I want my voice to be heard.
Early voting lasts until November 1st, and Election Day is November 5th. For TSTV News, I'm Justin Dowd.
Election Day is almost a week away, and Travis County is already seeing record-breaking voter turnout numbers. KXAN reports that over 20% of the more than 925,000 registered voters in the county have already cast their vote as of Saturday. For reference, on the first day of early voting last Monday, 46,000 voters cast a ballot as compared to the 35,000 voters Travis County brought in on the first day of early voting in 2020. According to Travis County Judge Andy Brown, these numbers are significant as Texas is one of the hardest states to register to vote in, with no online registration and requirement of certain voter IDs. Early voting ends this Friday, and voters can cast a ballot until 10 p.m. on the last 2 days. As a reminder, on-campus voting locations include the Texas Union and the LBJ School, so get your vote in now. The student leader of the campus Palestine Solidarity Committee was put on deferred suspension from the university last Wednesday. Amir Kadami, a UT senior who was arrested during a pro-Palestinian protest on April 24th, was retroactively suspended from August 21st, 2024 until August 15th of next year, according to the Austin American-Statesman. The Student Conduct Board, which reached this decision, agreed that although Kadami was not responsible for inciting disruptive conduct, he was still found to have failed to comply with university rules. Kadami's lawyer has reportedly filed a restraining order against this verdict, which was denied. A car crashed into UT's Guard kiosk on 24th Street and Whitus Avenue yesterday. There is no information at this time on the nature of the crash or any resulting injuries. The kiosk is widely known for its crossing guard, Mike Shaw, who directs foot traffic and shouts encouraging messages to students as they walk by.
Austin Bergstrom International Airport is undergoing a major expansion. The airport has been awarded over $33 million in federal funding from the FAA's Airport Terminal Program, which is part of the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law. This will support the construction of the new Concourse B, a project that includes an underground tunnel connecting it to the existing Barbara Jordan terminal. The expansion comes at a critical time as Austin continues to experience significant growth in both population and air traffic. A woman hit 4 pedestrians with her car before driving into a food truck and causing it to burst into flames in southeast Austin on Tuesday. One of the pedestrians was someone that the suspect believed had stolen her phone, while the remaining were innocent bystanders. All of them were treated with non-life-threatening injuries, and the suspect is facing charges of aggravated assault with a motor vehicle and failure to stop and render aid after a crash. The closing of Crux Climbing Center's South Austin location has rocked the local climbing community. Austin Bouldering Project is set to move into the empty space, and Crux issued a statement that they were blindsided by their competitor taking over the lease. One climber from the Texas rock climbing team, which regularly practices at ABP, says that Crux knew ABP would be moving in, and Crux left to build a new location elsewhere. There are more important issues the climbing community should be focusing on.
Crux is like overreacting. It wasn't like over their heads. They knew that their building was gonna get taken over. Like it wasn't. They just made it publicly. Like I think it's like, oh my gosh, we didn't know about this. But like this actually like had been an agreement between like ABP and Crux. We have enough locations. I feel like a priority in the climbing community right now should be like paying the setters more, because like right now they're just extremely underpaid for like what they do.
Both presidential candidates visited Texas Friday as the 2024 campaign nears to an end. Former President Donald Trump appeared on the Joe Rogan Experience, a podcast hosted by comedian and UFC commentator Joe Rogan and headquartered in Austin. The podcast is the largest on Spotify, and its largest demographic is men. Vice President Kamala Harris held a rally in Houston, where she was introduced by singer-songwriter and Houston native Beyonce. Harris's rally primarily focused on reproductive rights and supporting Texas Democratic candidate for Senate Colin Allred. Trump leads Harris by several percentage points in statewide polls. 63-year-old Jesse Lutzenberger was arrested on Thursday after punching an elderly poll worker who asked him to remove his MAGA baseball cap while voting. Lutzenberger was told that wearing political apparel violated the state's electioneering laws. He removed his hat briefly before putting it back on while still in the building. Lutzenberger was then escorted out of the facility, but not before he had the chance to repeatedly punch the poll worker in the face. The victim did not receive any serious injuries. Lutzenberger has received a third-degree felony for injury to an elderly person, and his bond has been set at $30,000. A recent Powerball ticket worth $1 million was sold at a Texaco station in Humble, Texas. The winning ticket matched all 5 of the main numbers, but missed the Powerball number, which was 15. Although the winner did not opt for the power play, which would have doubled their prize, they still walked away with a significant amount. This win came from the October 21st Powerball drawing, where the jackpot had climbed to $456 million. If you are playing Powerball in Texas, keep an eye on these big wins.
A new development has emerged in the case of Eric and Lyle Menendez, who fatally shot their parents in 1989 after years of sexual abuse. Last Thursday, Los Angeles District Attorney George Gascon issued a recommendation for the resentencing of Eric and Lyle Menendez, citing that their age of under 26 years old at the time of the crime warrants eligibility for parole. Following the murder of their parents, the brothers were sentenced to life in prison without parole. They have since served 34 years in prison in California. The case will go before a judge within the next 30 to 45 days. Stay tuned for updates. Last Wednesday, the U.S. Transportation Department fined American Airlines $50 million after reports surfaced that the carrier mistreats passengers who require wheelchairs. Passenger reports ranging from 2019 to 2023 identified mistreatment that included rough handling and damage to property. American Airlines will pay the U.S. Treasury $25 million, and $25 million will be issued as compensation for affected passengers and for equipment systems upgrades, aimed at reducing wheelchair-related delays and damages. Rap artist Lil Durk was recently arrested on a federal charge over accusations that he conspired to murder fellow rapper TB, ending the life of an unrelated individual. The arrest occurred Thursday at Miami International Airport. Lil Durk allegedly put a hit out on TB, but instead, a family member of TB was fatally injured. Lil Durk is alleged to have co-conspirators, with 5 additional men charged in connection to his music collective, Only the Family, which prosecutors argue operates as a gang in Los Angeles. The court proceedings will continue as new evidence is presented against the alleged murder-for-hire plot.
Intelligence out of the U.S., South Korea, and Ukraine have all reported the deployment of North Korean troops to the Kursk border region in Russia. NATO confirmed these reports earlier today, calling on Russia and North Korea to stop what marks a significant escalation in the war. It is thought that the thousands of North Korean troops that are being trained in the Kursk region will eventually fight for Russia and Ukraine. North Korea has denied the presence of their troops in Russia, but South Korea says the increasingly close partnership between Russia and North Korea may cause their nation to reconsider the extent of aid to which they provide to Ukraine. South Korea has already provided humanitarian aid to Ukraine, but no weapons thus far. Israeli missiles were fired at Iranian military targets on Saturday after Iran launched a missile attack on Israel earlier this month. In addition to the retaliatory attacks against Iran itself, Israel also began a ground offensive against Iranian-backed militants in Lebanon and increased its military campaigns against Iranian proxies in Syria and Yemen. These recent escalations have increased fears of an all-out war in the Middle East that could draw in involvement from the United States. Iran has stated that they do not wish for war with Israel, but that they will respond to any attacks, quote, at an appropriate time, end quote. Disposable vapes will be banned in England pending the approval of Parliament. The proposed government plan hopes to reduce plastic waste and protect the health of young people. Around 5 million disposable vapes are discarded per week, according to the English government. Government ministers in favor of the ban say vapes' colorful packaging and addictive nicotine target and harm children, while the UK Vaping Industry Association has claimed that banning vapes will only increase illegal sales. If passed by Parliament, the order will go into effect starting June of 2025. When we come back, the body of a SpaceX employee has been recovered at a Texas beach. Primetime will be right back.
Thirteen of the 48 club sports offered by the university now require students to submit proof of sex assigned at birth.
I know deep down they would probably want to stay with the university.
No way in hell anybody's going to tell my daughters what to do with their bodies.
This state is one of the worst in child education.
We can't take it anymore, seeing those scenes.
Going to Hillel on Friday night, all my family members kept texting me not to go.
There's a huge housing crisis in Austin. Do you have a plan in place to address this issue?
Determined to start your day well? We're up bright and early. From the enriching local stories to the weather forecast later in the day. Rain or shine, at Good Morning Longhorns, we got you covered. Comprised of a studious reporting staff going lengths to get that scoop, and a talented technical team to enhance your screen visually. As a fellow Longhorn, your mornings are better with us. So start your day the Vivo way. Good Morning Longhorns, Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Central Time on TSTV.
Welcome back to Primetime. E. coli cases, including one death, have been linked to McDonald's Quarter Pounders. Executive producer Hope Vanderberg has the latest. How are you doing today, Hope?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Emmie. Federal data released on Friday that the number of E. coli cases linked to McDonald's Quarter Pounders is now at 75. Cases have been reported in a variety of states, but primarily in Colorado. 22 people out of 61 the CDC has data on have been hospitalized, as well as one death being recorded. McDonald's initially removed 2 ingredients from their stores in an attempt to end the outbreak. The company believes that its slivered onions may be behind the sudden rise in cases, but the beef patties were ruled out as the source of E. coli through testing. Local authorities have recovered the body of Kevin Edward Escobar, a SpaceX employee who was last seen swimming near Boca Chica Beach in Texas around 6:30 p.m. last Monday. One of Escobar's co-workers attempted to save him and was unsuccessful, according to local deputies. The U.S. Coast Guard also responded to the incident and did not find success in finding the swimmer. The search was then suspended to local authorities, who recovered his body this week. A mother is suing an AI company after the suicide of her 14-year-old son in February. Sewell Setzer III had been using character AI to talk to an artificial intelligence bot that replicated a Game of Thrones character. He had reportedly become extremely isolated from the public, frequently engaging in sexual and vulnerable conversations with the bot before the final chat leading to his suicide, where he told the character, quote, "I promise I will come home to you. I love you so much, Danny," end quote. Sewell's mother, Megan Garcia, and her lawyer are claiming that character AI made an app that is targeting impressionable minds in a dangerous and addictive way.
Thanks, Hope, for bringing us up to date on the world of STEM and business. The Hindu holiday Diwali is being celebrated this Thursday and Friday. Can you catch us up on life and art news?
Yes, thanks, Audrey. Several festivals and holidays are coming up this week. This Friday is Diwali, a Hindu festival, also known as the Festival of Lights. Those who celebrate Diwali dress up in Indian clothing and light fireworks and candles. UT's Hindu Student Association held their annual Diwali party last Friday in front of the tower. The event included performances from Bollywood dance teams, henna stations, and an incredible fireworks show from the tower. In honor of Diwali this year, Mattel has also released a new Diwali Barbie. The Barbie's outfit is designed by famous Indian designer Anita Dongre. Although the Barbie sold out in 24 hours, people around the world were impressed by Mattel's attention to detail and collaboration with an Indian designer. Join fellow UT students for the Monster Bash of the Century. Campus Events and Entertainment Recreation is hosting a Halloween event with trivia, free food, a pumpkin decorating station, a scavenger hunt, and more. Costumes are also highly encouraged at the event. The event will take place in the WCP Ballroom on October 29th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Don't miss out on the Monster Bash because it will be a night filled with Halloween magic. Admission is free with your UTID. Join the Mosaic of America's Culture Committee for their Dia de los Muertos celebration. The event will be a night of remembrance for loved ones who have passed away, with a community ofrenda, food, games, prizes, performances, and crafts. The celebration will take place on November 1st from 2 to 4:30 p.m. in the SBP Ballroom on the 3rd floor of the Texas Union. Admission is free with your UTID.
When we come back, a Hail Mary pass leads to a win for one NFL team. We'll be right back.
13 of the 48 club sports offered by the university now require students to submit proof of sex assigned at birth.
I know deep down they would probably want to stay with the university.
No way in hell anybody's going to tell my daughters what to do with their bodies.
This state is one of the worst in child education.
We can't take it anymore, seeing those scenes.
Going to Hillel on Friday night, all my family members kept texting me not to go.
There's a huge housing crisis in Austin. Do you have a plan in place to address this issue?
Determined to start your day well? We're up bright and early. From the enriching local stories to the weather forecast later in the day. Rain or shine, at Good Morning Longhorns, we got you covered. Comprised of a studious reporting staff going lengths to get that scoop, and a talented technical team to enhance your screen visually. As a fellow Longhorn, your mornings are better with us. So start your day the Vivo way. Good Morning Longhorns, Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Central Time on TSTV.
Welcome back to Primetime. Texas football narrowly turned out a victory against Vanderbilt this past weekend. Ryan Hopper has the latest for Press Box on Primetime. How are you doing today, Ryan?
I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for having me.
Well, Texas football barely survived a trip to Vanderbilt this weekend, winning 27-24. What went wrong for the Longhorns in the Music City?
For most of this game, this Texas offense just seemed out of sync. After having his second pass attempt of the game tipped at the line of scrimmage and intercepted, Quinn Ewers would respond well, completing his next 17 passes for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Texas would find the end zone on 3 of its next 4 possessions, including a fantastic one-handed touchdown catch by Matthew Golden and 2 dimes to DeAndre Moore, who had his second multi-touchdown performance of his young career. But after a 50-yard drive that ended in a Burt Auburn field goal, it was tough sledding for Ewers and company, who picked up only 5 more first downs and 3 more points, partially because Ewers looked visibly uncomfortable in the pocket. Despite playing a significantly weaker opponent, the Longhorns were plagued with the same protection issues from the Georgia game. There were unblocked rushers, both tailbacks struggled in blitz pickup, and at times, Ewers would either hold the ball for too long or roll out of the pocket away from his protection. With Texas heading into its final bye week of the regular season, head coach Steve Sarkisian, this experienced offensive line, and the running backs room have to figure out the protections against different looks, or the Longhorns will be in for a long night a month from now in College Station.
Texas has only 4 games left of the regular season, including 2 tough rivalry games on the road against Arkansas and A&M. What do the Longhorns need to work on most to end the season strong and make it to the SEC championship game?
Well, Sark's squad's going to have to get back to the basics of complementary football. While Texas's lack of offensive production in the past 2 weeks has certainly been an issue, the spots they're leaving in the defense are arguably worse. Texas has turned the ball over 6 times in the past 2 weeks, which is something you can't do and expect to win football games at any level, much less in the SEC. Even worse, 5 of the 6 turnovers occurred while Texas was backed up inside its own territory, giving the Georgia and Vandy offenses short fields. The Texas defense has played very well. They've just been asked to perform miracles to keep the opponent with tremendous starting field position out of the end zone. And at times they have. In the Georgia game, the defense picked off Carson Beck 3 times, but it still wasn't enough because the offense did next to nothing to help them. If Texas' offense can play largely mistake-free football, this defense is good enough for them to win out and head to Atlanta for the SEC championship game.
And what about what happened in yesterday's NFL slate?
Well, the biggest play of the day came in the most unlikely of circumstances, with the Washington Commanders down to their last play and facing a 3-point deficit after the Bears stormed back to take their first lead of the game. Jaden Daniels, now the favorite to win Rookie of the Year, had his signature moment. Last year's Heisman Trophy winner kept the play alive for nearly 13 seconds before heaving a Hail Mary 60 yards in the air, despite battling a rib injury throughout the week. Miraculously, the ball was tipped at the goal line and caught by Noah Brown, who stood behind everyone else waiting for a gift, which he ultimately received. The Commanders are now 6-2 and lead the NFC East, with the Eagles a half game behind them and the Cowboys clinging on to their playoff hopes at 3-4. Speaking of the Cowboys, their comeback bid fell short in a 30-24 loss to San Francisco after conceding 3 unanswered touchdowns in the third quarter. Meanwhile, the Texans beat the Colts 23-20 to improve to 6-2, effectively putting them 2.5 games ahead of Indy for first place in the AFC South, meaning Houston is poised to make their second straight playoff appearance. Looking ahead, the Texans will travel to New York to take on the struggling Jets on Thursday night, while the Cowboys will go to Atlanta to play former Texas standout Bijan Robinson and the high-flying Falcons at noon on Sunday.
Thanks for your insight, Ryan. Coming up, celebrities go all out for their Halloween costumes. PrimeTime will be right back with the story.
"13 of the 48 club sports offered by the university now require students to submit proof of sex assigned at birth.
I know deep down they would probably want to stay with the university.
No way in hell anybody's going to tell my daughters what to do with their bodies.
This state is one of the worst in child education.
We can't take it anymore, seeing those scenes.
Going to Hillel on Friday night, all my family members kept texting me not to go.
There's a huge housing crisis in Austin. Do you have a plan in place to address this issue?
Determined to start your day well? We're up bright and early. From the enriching local stories to the weather forecast later in the day. Rain or shine, at Good Morning Longhorns, we got you covered. Comprised of a studious reporting staff going lengths to get that scoop, and a talented technical team to enhance your screen visually. As a fellow Longhorn, your mornings are better with us. So start your day the Vivo way. Good morning, Longhorns. Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Central Time on TSTV.
Welcome back. The Austin Film Festival is taking place right now through Thursday. Nicole Vargas joins us with the Now to Spill the Tea. How are you doing today, Nicole?
I'm doing great today, thank you. Austin Film Festival kicked off in downtown Austin on Thursday. Big names like Rianne Johnson, Justin Kurtzgis, and Kathleen Kennedy were part of the festival over the weekend, and some Oscar contender films such as The Brutalist and September 5th were screened. AFF also awarded some outstanding people in the film industry, and UT alum Rachel Kondo won an award at the festival for the work her and her husband did as executive producers for the hit movie Shogun.
Are you excited for any of the films at the festival?
I am. I think that Austin Film Festival always brings out some pretty great films, and I'm really excited to see what they all have to offer. During the free and equal elections presidential debate, a surprising moment took center stage when the singer of the national anthem cursed and asked to start over during the live performance. Loomis, an emerging artist known for her unique blend of genres, publicly apologized to her fans on social media, putting out a video with the caption stating, quote, "I want to take a moment to apologize to the amazing team at Free and Equal Elections, their incredible production crew, and all of you who are watching. I'm taking this as a lesson learned, and I can't wait to come back even stronger," end quote.
What did you think of this unfortunate performance?
I think I felt really bad because I could tell that she was pretty nervous to sing. The national anthem is a pretty hard song, so what matters is she finished out strong and she was able to come back from it. This Halloween, celebrities dazzle with spectacular costumes, leaving the internet in awe. Selena Gomez and music producer Benny Blanco delighted fans by transforming into the whimsical characters from Alice in Wonderland. Selena as Alice and Benny as the Mad Hatter brought fun to the internet with their Instagram post. Continuing the Disney magic from Alice in Wonderland, Alex Earl fans flooded her social media with praise for her playful transformation into a Cheshire cat. Lizzo stole the spotlight with her humorous costume choice, dressing up as Ozempic, the diabetes medication that has garnered attention in the recent months.
Did you have any favorite celebrity Halloween costumes?
I thought the Lizzo one was very funny. Not only was it fun for her to, kind of bite back at people accusing her of Ozempic, but I think it was also a funny little homage to South Park.
What are you guys dressing up as for Halloween this year?
I'm keeping it classy. I'm just doing a little police officer costume.
Awesome. I'll be dressing up as a Texas football player. If anyone has any recommendations, I'm open to hearing them.
Oh. I don't know what my plans are yet, so
we'll have to see what you come up with.
Well, that's your Monday night briefing. I'm Audrey Wong.
And I'm Emmie Adams. From all of us at TSTV News, thank you for watching.
PrimeTime will not be on air next Monday. Instead, tune into TSTV News' Election Night Special next Tuesday live from 8 to 10 p.m. Now, go out and change your world.